Welcome everyone to the first weekly webinar of September 2025. Glad to see you all here and looking forward to a great presentation today. Hopefully everybody can see on their screen the introductory slide for today's presentation. Thank you for confirming. We've tested out the sound in the video, so we'll get started with that in just a moment. But first things first, please make sure you are muted. And that you know that you can use the closed captioning with the button at the bottom of your screen. I remembered to press record, so this video will be later on, available later on today and in Monday's My Alliance newsletter. Use the chat feature if you have questions or comments for our presenter today. And those are all of the usuals. Some of you might recognize that I'm not in my usual spot. I wish I had a more fun background. I didn't think to make one, especially considering that I'm in Chicago. I'm actually in a suburb called Northbrook, Illinois. I haven't actually been to downtown Chicago yet. I'll do that tomorrow. But I've been at a conference all week. And the facility where I've been at the conference graciously gave me a meeting room so that I can meet with you all today. So there is a nice view out the window. They have a great walking path, but otherwise you get some blinds and a white wall. So anyway, there's that. But it just goes to show you the work continues. Even away from the KUADRC, we're always working on making sure you have what you need. So with that said, please welcome Valerie Blanco Johnson today. Those of you who have attended with us before might recognize Valerie because she brought us a presentation on oral health and caring for someone with dementia. And you know what? That just gave me a really great idea. When I send the link to today's presentation, I'm going to include Valerie's previous presentation. So in case you missed it, you can see it. And even if you did see it, you can refresh your memory. I'm going to write that down so I can refresh my memory and remember to actually do it. So you're welcome in advance. You're also welcome if you notice the list of links in this week's newsletter with all those great links to the programs from last week. So if you didn't notice that, go back and notice it, please, and follow them accordingly. But back to Valerie. Valerie is the program manager at a place that's near and dear to my heart, and that is the Alzheimer's Association Heart of America chapter. That chapter covers 65 counties in Kansas and Missouri. I'll let Valerie tell us more about specifically what they do. As for Valerie, you heard that she has a background in oral care, and she's been an educator in dental public health, and she's developed continuing education for allied health professionals. So Valerie knows, those of you who watched last week know that I said Valerie knows everything. Everything about seniors. In fact, she's got a great certification. Valerie is a certified senior advisor, which really does mean that she knows a whole lot professionally, and I also know personally about how to age well. And so we're lucky to have Valerie today to tell us specifically about what the Alzheimer's Association does and how they're funding research. Well, I won't spoil it. I'll let her tell you. So Valerie, thank you. Welcome, and all yours.
Thanks, Kelly. It's great to be back with everybody at the webinar, our weekly webinar. So I really appreciate all the information that we get to share together. So glad to be here. Let's see here. What happened? Here we go. Let's try that. Okay, so I'm here to talk to you about the Alzheimer's Association, which is near and dear to my heart. And the Alzheimer's Association's mission is to lead the way to end Alzheimer's and all other dementia by accelerating global research, driving risk reduction and early detection, and maximizing quality care and support. And that's where our programs team comes into play, and that's with the care and support piece. So I'll be telling you more about that. Our dual mission symbol, as you can see here, emphasizes the person and the science, and that's what the Alzheimer's Association is all about. We offer care and support, education and awareness, like I said, but we also have the advocacy and research that we do, and I'll cover a little bit of that at the end as well. We also know that Alzheimer's does not discriminate, but it does affect groups in different ways at higher risks and risk factors. And so we're always trying to learn more about how we can care for all communities, all populations. And while we are called the Alzheimer's Association, we do cover all dementia. So Alzheimer's just happens to be the largest percentage of the dementia experience that we see. And so I know this group is well aware of the impact that Alzheimer's has on our community. But the Alzheimer's Association also puts together the facts and figures every year. And these facts and figures just came out this spring, summer, and we know that the numbers are increasing. So we have over 7 million Americans who are living with Alzheimer's, and we know that that number went up from 6 last year, and we have over 12 million caregivers providing unpaid care, and that number also has increased. So we are seeing the impact, and the Alzheimer's Association is dedicated to working in every way possible to diminish that impact. So our chapter, the Heart of America chapter, talk about the programs, our resources that are at all no cost, some of the research that's been going on both locally and nationally, thanks to people like the KUADRC team, and then our advocacy at the Kansas and Missouri level. And so I'll kind of show you, as we mentioned, as Kelly mentioned, we have 65 counties that we cover. So you're looking at, of course, the northeast corner of Kansas here and the northwest corner of Missouri. And we have over 75 chapters nationwide. And as you can see, we have to cover a lot of area for a small staff that's located in Overland Park. But we are able to accomplish that with the help of many volunteers. We have support group facilitators, we have community educators, we have many, many volunteers who help us. And so we are very grateful for the help that makes it possible to achieve our mission. We have care and support, like I said, education and awareness, and we'll cover these other areas as well. So one of the areas we are really dedicated to, and that is in our care and support, this is just a snapshot of some of our groups that do meet in the area, in the local area, but this can be found on our website on the alz.org/CRF, which stands for Community Resource Finder. We have social engagement groups, we have community partnerships, and our support groups are in-person and virtual options. And we also have a support group that tends to provide an educational piece to it, and that's called our Learn and Cope groups. So those, again, can all be found on our website. So you're going to remember 3 main areas by the end of today. And so I will be highlighting those every time, and I will summarize those at the end. This is just an example. You don't need to try to see all this, but you can certainly watch the recording afterward as well, or snap a picture. But we have some of our social engagement opportunities. For instance, our jam session, that's kind of a big one for us. We also have Memory Cafe, so people can get together in a community location and just have some time together. And our jam session takes place at the Central Resource Library in Overland Park, but that's one that is actually hybrid. So you can attend that in person or virtually. And so by registering through our alz.org CRF, you will receive a Zoom link to participate. We also have the Nelson Atkins Museum, which has a monthly program, and I've listed these through the end of the year, and the National Museum of Toys and Miniatures, again, in partnership with communities, with KUADRC at the Nelson, and of course the National Museum as well. So check out those websites, but also know that those are available. Our education and awareness also includes many of our educational presentations that can cover anything from healthy lifestyles to just overview information about Alzheimer's, and also some supportive series for our caregivers, talking about anything from supporting independence to communication to dementia-related behaviors. So that's a great program that we like to share with the people. And then we also have special programs that we work with first responders, home care staff, as well as residential community care staff. We partner with parks and recreation programs, libraries, faith communities, and businesses, because we know that there's a growing number of caregivers who are also working full-time or still trying to continue in their career path. So ways that we can support them. Just a couple of examples on the left, we've got a program that's coming up October 8th that can be registered through our website as well. That's going to be an event, and we'll have a panel, panelists who will be there to talk about some of the issues that can help with supporting independence. And then we do a monthly webinar that can also be accessed from anywhere. And we cover a different topic every month. We have an example of a series that's coming up through the Kansas City Public Library that can be also accessed through their website for registration. And then we also partner with like other groups like the Johnson County Memorial Gardens or Stockton and Kent. We'll be talking about holidays and kind of special information that isn't always part of our regular programs. So the resources that we are able to offer are through the Alzheimer's Association, the national support. The big one that I always like to talk about is the helpline. That is available 24/7. Questions, anything, registering for a class, registering for an event, trying to find an event. But anytime, day or night, we have those lines available, and you can call there and we have translated languages, over 200, and they can also connect you with a care consultant if necessary. Again, a lot of these special places are found on our website, the alz.org. So whether it's looking for support groups or looking for home services, or whether it's just getting more information about special topics like safety or driving. We have Alls Connected, which is, it's like almost, I want to say Facebook, where communities come together and share maybe some helpful advice or some support to one another. And you don't have to register to be a part of that. You can just read what's on there. If you want to actually post and participate, then you just have to set up an account to do that. But it's all free. These are all resources available at no cost. You can also find an app that is now available. This just came out recently. This can be also obtained through an app store or Google Play. It's free, and it provides information basically at your fingertips, whether newly diagnosed or a caregiver. I love it because there's also the option to listen by audio, so you don't always have to look at the screen, but lots and lots of information. And every day they start out with some type of quote, which is an encouragement. And it's just a really great tool to add to the resources. So all of our mission, of course, does also include research, which I know is why a lot of you might be here with us. And our vision of the Alzheimer's Association is a world without Alzheimer's and all other dementia. And so we are the world's largest nonprofit funder of Alzheimer's and dementia research. And so we have a lot going on right now in the research pipeline, if you will, and we're learning so much. As you know, there's We have conferences. One of our major conferences, the Alzheimer's Association International Conference, which just took place the end of July. We are always studying and learning, as you know, through the KUADRC, risk factors, brain health, early detection, and treatments. And so it's this conference that brings together all of the clinicians worldwide. So new researchers, clinicians, everyone getting together and talking about the improving care and how we are approaching a vision without a world without Alzheimer's. And so you heard about this study with Rosie. She talked about brain games recently, and this is a study that was released and results were shown at the AAIC, and it talks also about healthy lifestyles. And I understand that there's already money ready to fund a continuation of this type of study where we'll have an alumni extension of the U.S. Pointer study. So very interesting and super encouraging that there are some ways that we can modify our risk factors for developing Alzheimer's or dementia. I just wanted to share just kind of a general overview because of the research that is happening in our community. We're able to see that there's some funding that does come back to our communities within our chapter footprint. So at the Missouri level, we have some funded institutions. And then, of course, you all are well aware of the funded institution we have with KU. And so that money does, our research dollars does come back and support our research and our communities. Another area in which our chapter can help or is involved is the Alzheimer's Impact Movement. It is because of the amplification of voices of volunteers and advocates that we are able to maintain a presence at state and national levels. And so just to give you a snapshot of what's been happening in our area with our chapter, we also know that with the Kansas and Missouri respite funding, that was accomplished through lots of work through volunteers and advocates. Kelly shared information, I think it was just last week, about the KRAD from Michelle Dillon, but also the Missouri grant program that's available. And thanks to the hard work of volunteers and advocates, we were able to keep this in front of the decision makers. So thankfully, we have that. And we continue to keep that alive, really. It's so important. We also know that there's been caregiver training that has been accomplished at the Missouri level. Dementia training was passed this most recent legislative session where the Ombuds program or the Ombudsman office is going to have dementia training and ongoing, and then the funding of Medicaid for cognitive assessments, and so care can be provided. And in 2023, we also fought to obtain a dementia coordinator, which has been a huge game changer for care in Kansas as well. So we continue to advocate for all the resources and support that we can. So really, our mission would be impossible with the help of our advocates and our volunteers. So we appreciate all that they have done. And a great way that we are able to make that possible is certainly through our fundraising activities, which you may all be familiar with, our Walk to End Alzheimer's, but we also have Do What You Love to End Alzheimer's, which formerly was known as The Longest Day. So with our chapter, we do have the walk season approaching, and we have walks in lots of areas, including St. Joseph, Missouri, and the Northland, as well as Kansas City, Missouri, but then we're also in Topeka, Lawrence, Pittsburgh, Emporia, and so we're kind of everywhere. So really, these events are bringing people together so that we can feel that community of trying to fight for the same cause. The other activity that we have for fundraising opportunities is Do What You Love. And that's basically just turning something that you love into a fundraiser. So you can see here, some people have done anything from games to pickleball and some type of craft. People do bake sales, all kinds of things. So it's just a way to raise money. But again, this is how we are able to provide all the resources that we do for free. And so again, I want to go back to, what do you take away from this today? And here's what it is. That helpline is so important. So the 1-800-272-3900, and again, 24/7, and then our free education. And you can find all that at our website, alz.org. And you can find the Community Resource Finder by just alz.org/. You can either write it out or you can actually just put in CRF. But by entering your zip code, you'll be able to find what's available near you in the community. So those are great ways to find what you need. But I also am sharing here with my email, because certainly if you know individuals in our 65 counties who might want to be involved, boy, please send them our way, because we sure can use the help. And we want to make our services known to everyone and accessible. So if you are unable to get through some type of information that you're looking for, feel free to email me. Maybe if you have a program that you have in mind, or you'd like to see a program in a particular area, let us know. Again, we're covering a lot of ground, and we need all the help we can get. And I'm going to keep this on the screen, because again, these are your takeaways. The toll-free number, the resources on our website, and the Community Resource Finder. And I will say that, it's nice to be able to call on the phone and get help. But if you're one of those people who like to get online and do a lot of self-guided research, then you will have a great time with our website, because it is expansive. And so it's really a big help. And I just am thankful to have the opportunity to share that with all of you. And thanks to Kelly, she's been a great volunteer with us, support group leader, as well as board member. She kind of does it all. So she's been a great help. And I just really appreciate the opportunity to be with you guys today.
Sorry, I was talking and muted. My little reminder came up. I was saying thank you, Valerie, in case you couldn't read my lips. Thank you so
Oh,
much for
thank
bringing
you.
us this update. It's my pleasure to collaborate with you. And here's where I remind everybody how lucky you are. If you happen to live in the Kansas City vicinity, you're lucky to have access to the Alzheimer's Association Heart of America chapter and the KUADRC. There's a whole lot of folks who live in other parts of the country that don't have both of those things practically in their backyard. So please take advantage of both of these great resources. And I just wanted to highlight that 24-hour helpline is fantastic. And even if you're not in Kansas or Missouri, you can still call it, because it's a nationwide number, right? And there are lots of languages available. So if you are in a situation where you need to speak to someone in a non-English language, they've got you. And Valerie, in the good old days, when I was a young Alzheimer's Association employee, before the rise of smartphones, I know for sure, you could call that 1-800 number, and it knew you were calling from wherever you were, and it would route you to the local office. Is that still the case?
It, what they will do is they will take your information, if and they can, yeah, direct you to what you need. So we don't take calls in our office through the
Gotcha.
helpline. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it's centralized, but we
And it's
we are contacted if something needs to happen locally.
perfect. Okay. So you don't have to worry about time zones and call anytime you want, and somebody will answer and get you to where you need to go. And I can't believe I've been here in Chicago since Monday, and it just occurred to me right now that the headquarters of the Alzheimer's Association is here in Chicago. Isn't that right, Valerie?
It is correct.
So anybody else thinking I have an opportunity here? I don't know. We'll see. I
Yeah,
think it's on
right.
Michigan Avenue, right?
It
Um,
is.
Yeah, we'll see. Stay tuned. If I make it there, I'll let y'all know.
It's the home office.
Yeah, very good. Okay. Any questions for Valerie? Any comments, anything you're curious about? I will underscore what she said about the association funding research, including research we're doing here at KU. We're eternally grateful for that. I shouldn't call names because I'll get something forgotten, but I do know that our Dr. Heather Wilkins, I think that's right, is funded by some money from the Alzheimer's Association and several other folks. And so that is just a great asset to have. And we can certainly partner together to get us closer to a world without Alzheimer's disease.
Right.
Right.
It's great to partner. We're
Yeah,
very fortunate.
very good. Okay, let's see. I see a couple things in the chat. Let me put my eyes on that. Yes, I agree with the thanks and the great job comments. Lisa, oh yeah, I still see you here. I hope you don't mind me saying that Lisa Austin is with us on the call today. And Lisa is also on staff at the Alzheimer's
Dr.
Association.
Lisa.
So it's great to have you here, Lisa. And you already know this, and now it's going to be recorded. And that is, we're going to get Lisa to come talk to us one day on
There
the
you go.
webinar about what she's doing over at the Alzheimer's Association. I think she's nodding. She's not doing this. She's doing this. So thumbs up. I love it. I didn't twist her arm or anything, did I? So we'll look forward to having Lisa join us another time and share more information about what's available.
Great.
Um, and know that the Alzheimer's Association, gosh, I know it's been around for since the 80s. And so I've got a
Mhm.
long-term story of being there for folks. And it's how I got my career started. So, I mean, I owe a lot to the Alzheimer's Association, and my family does, and so many of us do. And I'm really grateful for that. Feel free if you have any other questions or comments, the chat is still open. I will add that next Thursday, September 11th, our weekly webinar presenter will be Rosie Pasqualini. Many of you know Rosie and have attended LEAP classes. And so she's going to come. She's always giving us a new perspective on the weekly webinar, and she does such a good job with that. So we're excited to hear from Rosie next Thursday, September 11th, and you'll see more information about her presentation in Monday's issue of the My Alliance newsletter. So, with that, I don't know if I have any more announcements. Someone who is not me scheduled a meeting for me at 2:30, knowing that I'm always on the weekly webinar at 2 o'clock. So I hope it's a good meeting. We'll see. So I guess if there's no other questions or comments, I might wrap us up a little early so I can run over I don't have to run anywhere, it's online, but I can sign into the next meeting and see what they're talking about over there. Watch for your newsletter on Monday. Valerie, thank you so much. Great
For having me.
information.
Yeah,
Always
thanks.
happy to spread the word about the great work you all are doing over there at the association. All right, everybody, take care, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
So, bye.